All right, hey, I'm Kyle with KTN Thermodynamics. I'm CEO and engineer, and I got Casey here, who's installed one of our throttle body spacers. Casey, what year is the Subaru?
This is a 2005 Subaru Impreza.
What liter engine is that?
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, have you noticed anything different with the way the car drives with the spacer?
Initially, when I first put it on, I noticed that the engine instantaneously ran a lot smoother.
Okay.
So that was the first thing that I noticed. And so what I decided to do was to just run it like a raped ape. You know, I took it out. I got a really long, 1.5 mile long road, and I took it to wide open throttle. And the acceleration was better. The one thing I did notice is that on that road, I could usually hit about 105 before I had to back off, and I was able to hit 115 before I felt I had to back off.
Nice.
So I got a little bit of top end as well, I feel. And then upon returning to my house and getting in my driveway, I did some temperature readings, and it was a drastic difference. The spacer read only 84 degrees, the throttle body read at 210, and the intake manifold was at 67.
Yeah.
So the theory of the thermodynamics coming out of that spacer is actually reality. It dramatically dropped the temperature of the intake.
Awesome. That's what we love to hear. That's what we're all about, is lowering heat soak. And heat soak and intake manifolds is a huge thing. Mm-hmm. And you know, like a Cosworth intake manifold is going to cost you $1,500 for that. You know, and you're not even going to get those same temperatures or come close to it.
Right.
So really, I mean, for $100, that's a great value. Would you recommend that to friends and family?
Absolutely. Yeah, I've already recommended it to several people. My grandfather's getting, what, I think 30% mileage increase.
Yeah.
I did the readings and tested it, and at first it didn't seem that I did much of a mileage increase, but that wasn't a complete full tank estimate. So what I did is I went ahead and zeroed out the odometer, filled it back up. At 290 miles, I burned 10 gallons, making it all around city and highway 29 miles a gallon.
What do you normally get?
I was getting about 20.
Really?
Yeah.
9 miles per gallon increase. Yeah. City and freeway.
Yeah, and I still haven't been able to actually just do freeway, like leave from Prosser and come to Yakima. That's about a 50-mile stretch. The last time I did it, it said that I was getting like 40 miles a gallon, and I was like, no, that's not quite accurate. Sure enough, it was getting closer. I want to say probably 35, 36.
Good.
So that's there's amazing. Definitely gains. There's no doubt about that. And I've taken less trips to the gas station.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, what do you got there in your hand? Looks like
this is my temperature probe. It's a Fluke. I use it in my HVAC business to measure temperatures, air discharge temperatures. And
so that's pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate, yeah,
awesome.
Up to about 500 degrees.
All right, well, the engine's been turned off for probably about 20 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and take a reading on it, and then let's idle it so we can show people how the spacer actually works. Okay, so right now it's 130 to 134 degree throttle body. Spacer's reading the same right now. Intake's reading 122. So as you can see, the spacer right now is still dissipating heat from any source that it's got touching it. Now here's something that's absolutely crazy is if I touch the throttle body with my fingers, it's incredibly hot. But if I touch the spacer, no problem at all. No problem at all. Man, it's comfortable there. And then the manifold obviously is quite warm. Mm-hmm. So the interesting thing with the way this works is it's a lot like a heat sink on a computer. As the engine sucks the air through, it helps dissipate that heat even more. Mm-hmm. So that's why you're able to get that 84 degree temperature on the spacer, as it continually takes that heat and throws it out. So, hey Casey, would you mind starting the car so we can get a reading as it idles? Rumble, that boxer engine, gotta love that.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. Of course, it hasn't been running at wide open throttle, so I'm not going to get the same temperatures. Spacer. So we go from throttle body is roughly 128, 30 degrees, bouncing back and forth a few. Spacer, a little hotter. And then intake manifold is only 119. And so what I experience is the faster I go, the hotter the vehicle gets, the cooler the intake manifold's temperature becomes.
So that's why when I ran it at wide open throttle, the throttle body was 250 some degrees, give or take 10 or 20 degrees. Spacer was only at 80 degrees, and the intake manifold air temperature or temperature was 67 degrees. And I'll go ahead and send you that video so you can add that to the link. All right, now something else that most people don't realize with imports is they have hot coolant running through the throttle body. It's part of the idle system. So, do you know what the temperature of the coolant is, the radiator hose here? It's reading 155, 160, 70, about 175. Okay, perfect. So what I'm trying to get at here is you have all that hot coolant. I mean, you can see here you got 2 coolant hoses going into the throttle body. I mean, it's extremely hot. That superheats that throttle body, especially at wide open. The faster you go, the more the water pumps through it to cool and dissipate the cylinders and everything. But that also increases the heat that's in that throttle body. So if you had an aluminum spacer in there, that whole intake's just going to be super hot. You're not going to get good gains off of it. If you have a phenolic spacer in there, you're not going to get good gains either, because it's keeping the heat in the throttle body and it's keeping the heat in the intake. But KTN's Kiylex, what it does is it dissipates the heat from both ends, allowing the most cooling efficiency possible. So for $100, it's a great value. Awesome. Hey, thanks, Casey. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.